and welcome to a new episode of Prophecy Walkers. I'm Alistair McLean and this is
Hazel Evans.
And today we are going to talk about something extraordinary. And I don't mean ordinary, I mean extraordinary. We're talking about the Soul Prophecy Oracle today, and we need your help. So the Soul Prophecy Oracle is a tremendous story, and we're going to have to do multiple videos over the coming years, actually, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so big. And the Soul Prophecy Oracle is a creation that Hazel has created, and it's taken her 13 years to create. And essentially, top line, the Soul Prophecy Oracle is an oracle deck that is currently been launched as a Kickstarter. We'll put the link in the description. Now, the Soul Prophecy Oracle isn't just an ordinary oracle deck. It truly is a masterpiece, and it's about the journey of divine union, about man and woman coming together. And Hazel started the journey 13 years ago, and we'll go into the story of it. But what we're going to do is we're bringing in our creations into Prophecy Walkers to help people understand the path that is coming, because as you probably know, 2025 is going to be quite a tumultuous year. It's going to be full of, let's say, ego exposure. And it's already started. If you see the news, there's quite a lot of horrendous things happening. But what we're going to do is highlight the love that is available for people. And a lot of people have already crossed over, people who started and began their spiritual journey 2020 or pre-2020. A lot of those people, we've been told by Spirit, have crossed over, but there's billions of people who haven't. And we're coming up to another, let's say, the equivalent of another lockdown, perhaps in this year coming or the next year. We're not quite sure when it's coming. But we've been told this by guides, and we've had other people receive this information as well in astrology and mediums and things like that. And we want to help prepare people for the path, because people are now getting a second chance to take their spiritual journey. We began ours together in 2020 during the lockdown, because there was nothing better to do, to be honest. And we didn't do it consciously. It was all unconsciously. Our souls brought us together, and we're on this incredible journey now. So we want to bring in this magic. We want to bring in this magic of the Soul Prophecy Oracle, because essentially what it is it's a story. It's a story of how to get from starting your journey of choosing yes for love and life and creation, to becoming a prophecy walker. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about prophecy walkers, because that's in the oracle deck, and we're going to talk about what is available, what's available. So I'm going to ask you, Hazel.
Yeah.
What is the Soul Prophecy Oracle?
Yeah, that's a really great question. And yeah, let's start. Let's start. So 13 years ago, I didn't actually know I was making an oracle deck at that point. But 13 years ago was one of, I was recovering from a marriage breakup, abusive marriage breakup. And I heard the call from within. What would I do if I was to die? What would I do if I was, what would I regret not doing if I died today? And the answer then came through: I'd regret not making my art or expressing myself in my way. And at that time, I didn't know that it was a soul calling, but that led through to exhibitions, etc., etc. And part of that is a couple of the first pictures that I'm actually using in the oracle deck. And this was when really my world was black and white, and that, we can look at the spiritual journey as being very black and white when we're not open to what everything that spirit has to offer. and becoming all the colors yourself and embodying all of the vibrations, all of the colors of the soul. So that was really the beginning of the journey. And then really it was curiosity. It was, I knew when I was doing my art then that there was something that I was tapping into that I didn't know what it was. And I made a wish to help guide women into recovery from abusive relationships, because that's what I had been recovering from, and my art had really helped me at that point. But still, I was just making art in various different ways, singing, performing, illustration, writing, etc., etc., as a multidisciplinary artist. And because I knew this essence that I was searching for, well, I was already on my spiritual journey then, it's like over 13 years ago, there was this feeling in me. It's not about being an art teacher. It's not about teaching people how to sing or perform or draw or whatever. It's really, there's something else. And that curiosity led me more down into the depths of the deep feminine through becoming a priestess of sacred sexuality, priestess of love, learning about the connection to nature, herbalism, plant medicine, shamanic initiations, etc., etc. And throughout this whole journey, I've been drawing and documenting the journey. And it was only really until I started really working very much with, doing women's work, and lots of illustrations came out from there. And what I really want to talk about today is that shift from doing women's work on your own as a woman and doing men's work on your own as a man, and that shift that comes together when you meet, because that's what happened when I met Alistair, is that he joined me for a part of the journey and said, yeah, let's do this together. And by drawing the spiritual journey in itself and documenting it as the evolution is happening, this is what the Oracle is about, we realized that we had a joint purpose together. And that is part of what the twin flame is. That's part of what the Rainbow Warriors prophecy is. That's part of walking your soul path. That's part of the universal codes of creation, is man and woman being together. And, you know.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
So even though Hazel created this, I became part of the journey and part of the Oracle deck. If you notice, you'll see in the Oracle deck that they have people in them. They have faces of people, and this is how Hazel was directed to design the Oracle. She took photos of people who wanted to be in the Oracle, and then she would channel the drawings, the art, or the coding and the energy that wanted to be expressed. And then over time, that card would show its meaning as that part of the journey. For example, there's a death card in there. There's a prophecy walkers card in there. There's loads of cards in there that are new, that have never been seen before. Most oracle decks are based on the tarot or animals and loads of other things, but this one is quite unique because it's a journey that Hazel has taken and embodied. And when I came in, she started designing in color. And the reason I'm saying this is we're really talking about twin flame energy and divine union and what that means. And when I came to meet Hazel, it was completely by chance. I'd been on an ayahuasca retreat in Peru, and I was sat next to this woman, and I befriended her and her husband, and I wanted to go somewhere for Christmas, and they invited me over, and Hazel was living on their land, recovering from a narcissistic, abusive divorce, marriage, whatever. And we, I knocked on her door, and she came to dinner, and we started talking, and I was talking to her about um, myself, how I was recovering from the fact that I had identified in myself narcissistic behavior, and I said, you were receiving narcissistic behavior from your husband, and to her that was like a light bulb moment. And so we connected and we started talking. And the whole point of this conversation I was saying is all of this began through friendship. And 99% of relationships don't begin that way. It's even actually looked upon, especially in the masculine community, where they say you've been friend zoned. But that's how true love begins. That's how twin flame love begins. You have to be friends first, because what happens is what we did, which I think is really amazing, is, and I made this wish, like when I was single before I met Hazel, was that the next time I met a woman, I wanted to really know her first before I committed into a relationship. And so what we did unknowingly, but our souls guided us, and that wish I made to the universe guided me, is we just went really deep into purifying our egos. And so all this stuff came up, and we learned all this stuff about each other that had we been together, we'd be like, I'll see you later. I don't want to know you because you did this and you did that. Right. And, especially being a man, when you have, I worked in London for so many years. And when you're in that dark energy and you're surrounded by those dark people for that long, you start to take on that energy. And so I had a lot of dark stuff to get out, and we just became more closer and closer as friends, to the point where there was this huge, well, it was conscious for you but unconscious for me, because I was completely blocking out of love between two friends. But it was like we kept saying to it, and I was like, doubling down, which we're just getting ourselves ready for when we meet, our true love. We're just friends. We're just friends. And that went on for too long, didn't it?
Yeah. And then I started saying to everybody, "Oh, Alice, I was speaking to Alistair, my friend." He became, I was like,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
became Alistair, my friend.
But I want to make a really important point, and I hope you don't mind, but the taboo of plant medicine. You okay about me talking about this?
Yeah, as long as you talk about what I said I would talk about.
I can't remember what you said you wanted to talk about.
Go ahead.
Essentially, we have to bring this into our channel, because I'm doing a book on integration. It's called The Art of Integration. It's about how to integrate plant medicine journeys, because most people don't know how to do that. I was one of them. And through our profound journey, we found the art, as in the art, but also the art of working with plant medicine. And I couldn't have done that on my own. Hazel has magnificent gifts. But the reason I'm bringing this up is there's only so far you can get on an internal journey. For me, I started with psychology and exercise, good food, biohacking, yoga, Pilates, anything, he's traveling the world, uh, earning money. I tried everything to learn from, understand. Instead of sticking to one method, I was learning from lots of different things. But I did so many different things, and there was nothing really taking the edge off for me. I was in a really dark place, and I really wanted to break through. And I remember I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast one day, and he said ayahuasca, and my ears pricked up, and I didn't know what that was. And I ended up, long story short, I ended up in a forest in the middle of Holland doing bufo instead of ayahuasca. And I had an ego death. And then in 2020, I met Hazel, and like I said, we were in lockdown, and we were in the middle of a foreign country. I had to get the Eurostar, or I can't remember, the plane, whatever, over. And we started working with our native medicines that grow here instead of abroad. And we started to receive just unbelievable, incredible wisdom and information about, at that time was the super great, the Great Conjunction, or the end of the Mayan calendar at the winter solstice in 2020. And that journey took us on a journey that's in alignment with this oracle deck of purifying the love and separation between man and women, essentially bringing an end to war within ourselves. And we saw how that worked like a butterfly effect into the collective. And we were taken on a journey with the medicine and with ourselves, really devoted to each other and
To the healing journey.
to the healing journey of healing ourselves through mirroring to each other, to the point where we were living in two separate countries, and we were doing ceremonies over video call. You know, we were extremely devoted, and we spoke every day for 1,000 days. And now we live together. But it was, you know, it really became an incredible love story, and it's still, you know, every day it's a stronger love, and it's a stronger story. But our story is so big, and Hazel's story is so big, that, like Hazel always said, it has to be put into art because it's so big. It can't be put into words. If we were to put it into words, which we're going to try to, it's going to take us years. And so we're writing books and we're putting it into art to describe how magnificent this journey is, because it truly is the divine journey, the divine sovereign journey of love between man and woman. And deep down, that's what everybody desires.
And if we can do it, you can do it. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're sharing this.
Yeah, but it's not easy, and that's why, you know, Hazel's created an oracle deck which goes perfectly with. I'm just thinking about this now. It goes perfectly with my integration book.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah. And so we want to share. I tell you what we could do. We could share the part of the journey where I came in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then we can just move kind of speedily to the Prophecy Walkers card.
Okay. So after before this, there's a section of all of the deep teachings of the deep feminine, the triple goddess, the red, black, and white energies, life, death, rebirth, etc., etc. And then there comes a point when you pop through and something else happens, and life changes. And for me, through my ceremonial work, my work with women and with men, I started receiving the coding, which I was told at that time was the new way coding of divine union. And it was coming out of the universe into my hands. It's quite incredible. And it's always challenging. How do you illustrate that? And this is the branding actually for the Oracle deck.
It's not in focus.
Yeah. So this was an illustration that I showed Alistair, because he was interested when we first met, and I was talking about the alchemy between fire and water, and the alchemy between the universe and star consciousness, and also in here the sword, the rose, the pyramids, like all of the timelines, because at that time, through my breakthrough, the narcissistic abuse that I was going through at the time, the betrayal being an incredible opener of the heart. If you know how to navigate your realms, and this is, you know how to navigate yourself and carry yourself, this is what this oracle deck is helping you to do, is journey through any situation and get strong from it. There comes a point where you can't, it's like you can't do any more deep work. You need to move on. There comes a point where you can't do any more sisterhood work on your own or within sisterhood. You have to break free to the next level. At least that's what my journey was. I was really feeling that, you know, there's something else. Where is this leading? This is leading to connection with the divine counterpart. So that was the divine union coding came in. And then there was the rising of the feminine. There was the Holy Trinity, which is what I call the Holy Trinity of the new way, the new way of the feminine coding coming in. She who rises unstoppable, she who embodies the sacred vessel, and she who embodies the divine coding. And from that, it was the first time I then brought men in, and they just came in. The husbands said, "Oh yeah, I also want a soul reading. I also want to be part of that." So then the Holy Trinity of the masculine came in. So in this part, we have the Holy Trinity of the feminine and the masculine, which is multidimensional. They come together to create union. They come together to within yourself, the fire and the water alchemy, to create that ignition of that Merkaba within yourself, which is you, your holiness within yourself, your divinity of who you truly are within yourself, your soul. And so we had the masculine come in, he who shines true light, not a false light. He who protects the sacred, and he who sees beyond sight. Three really powerful qualities that make up the healing way, the new way of the masculine to come to evolution at this time and to come into union with the feminine. So then I was called. After that, I was like, okay, well, that's done. The oracle's done. But the oracle told me, no, you need to put yourself on the page again, Hazel. And I needed to do that. And out of that came the energy of the dragon and the dragon heart. And this is when we started becoming friends much more. And you gave me a reading and was telling me about my animals, my spirit animals. And also the journey, in meeting you with the lion heart. And so there's this energy between the woman being the dragon and the masculine, or the feminine dragon and the masculine lion, and that alchemy that comes together, hence our Prophecy Walker logo. And through this alchemical process of balancing and these different energies between the masculine and feminine within yourself, but also we were simultaneously doing this together, you come to a point where you go beyond the red, black and white of the life, death, rebirth process, and you actually rebirth yourself into a new reality. And this is why this is really important, this oracle at the moment, because this is what we're doing. Humanity is rebirthing itself from the old karmic cycles, this endless life, death, rebirth, and sorting out the darkness and all of that stuff. We're rebirthing ourselves into a much higher vibrational level and a new reality. And through working in sacred union together, and in a very, devoted way to the heart, like the heart is the guide, the heart vibration is the guide, it's unlocked. I don't know, heart vibrations that I could have never imagined.
Soul gifts. When we started our journey, we were listening to Cryon. I don't know if anybody's listened to Cryon. And at the time, Cryon was talking about the innate. And the innate are the 12 layers of DNA, which hold the latent coded DNA. And he was saying that we had only unlocked about the first 3 stages. And so we took that information and we ran with it, and we went and unlocked all 12 layers. And we started realizing we could do extraordinary things in the spiritual realm and also in this realm. And the only way we could bring those into reality, like turning a psychedelic dream into a psychedelic reality, was through integration. And the integration we've had to do is really fantastic and wild. And one of the most powerful ways of integrating those soul gifts that you earn through the spiritual realm in co-creation with spirit is creation itself, creating
Mm.
art. And that's why this oracle deck is so powerful, because it was showing us our journey. Every time we had embodied a card, Hazel would then get the download for the next card she had to draw, and we would have to embody the card before she drew it. And I'm like, oh my God. And some of the
Didn't know
cards
what you
were,
got into.
yeah, some of the cards were really tough,
Mm.
really tough,
Mm.
really tough.
Mm.
And because it opened up after that to the chakra system, but we won't go into that now because
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say before we carry on, because we're nearly at the prophecy walkers card, is this really means a lot to us, this oracle deck, and it's on Kickstarter, and we've got about 12 days left. It finishes on the 13th of January this year. And we would really appreciate it if people who want a copy of this oracle deck, because it is a true masterpiece. We're not just saying that. 13 years of Hazel's life, and she's a true artist, and we've lived and embodied it. We'd really appreciate any pledges or support on the Kickstarter. And again, we'll put the link below. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Really, really, it means so much to me and to us. And it will mean a lot to you as well. I can really guarantee that. Because this is not just a bunch of pictures put together to make a product. This is a real oracle. This is really the spirit of the oracle really coming through for your guidance from separation to unity. Let's say, yeah, through the portal of divine union. Yeah. Yeah, so when we started realizing this alchemy between us and the dragon and the lion, this opened up the temple of divine union, and following that opened up the prophecy walkers card. And these are two expressions of twin flame energy, and it will be really great in the future that I specifically talk only about particular cards.
Yeah, and the medicine journeys we took to embody them.
Yeah.
Because this is the coming together, and this is the joint purpose that is why we're doing it now.
Yeah. And so that's what we learned Prophecy Walkers was about, which is this card here.
Yeah, we're going to
we'll put it up there. But it's really standing side by side, taking the journey, letting everything cleanse through you so that you create new wings of creation, new wings of love that carry you both forward into this new reality that we are all creating. And this is why this oracle deck is so powerful as well, because it's a bridge. It's a bridge for you to walk from your current spiritual life, which has its limitations because it comes from the old way, and walk across that bridge into unity consciousness. And this is what this is about. And I know I can't be the only woman on the planet that has gone through so many trainings, initiations, workshops, festivals, etc., all this women's work, which is incredible. And there must be other women out there who are like I was, which is, well, there must be more to this as well. I feel good by doing this, but I'm still not able to get into relationship. I'm still not, I still don't understand that. And this is where Alistair has been so incredible in stepping into this journey and with the feminine and saying, yes, I'm going to help you so you can heal and understand the masculine. And we've been healing each other. This is a true healing relationship. Like, it's so profoundly, incredibly beautiful. And it needs to be shared, because before I knew that it was possible in my heart. I knew in my body that this, like, divine union, sacred union, like a really true loving partnership, I knew it was available, even though I'd never experienced it in my life. And, come from a broken home and, lots of emotional turmoil and everything. And I still never gave up on hope that it was possible.
Yeah.
And this is where you are such an amazing, courageous man to step into not only your own healing journey, but journey with me.
Yeah, that's brave.
The fiercest heart on the planet,
Yeah,
perhaps.
no, I found that when I was in medicine groups, medicine ceremonies with other people, that there was a lot of, in my experience, just what I went through, a lot of charlatans and only a handful of really people who kind of knew what they were doing, whereas other people were going there kind of like an addiction to feel good through the process of cleansing and purging. But what we learned from working with our own native medicines is that the integration was much, much more different, much different, easier in a way because there was no physical purging, and but it brought us into an animate life. And in my experience, I always found when men were in front of women, they in a spiritual process, they couldn't handle it, and they would either take a charm offensive in a sexual way to be liked by the woman, or put the woman down, be abusive, or silence them in really deceiving and covert ways. And there are even a couple of instances where I saw men being violent, not physically violent to a woman, but violent, like smashing things. And it creates, in that sensitive atmosphere, that's abysmal behavior and very destructive. And so when I was, before I met Hazel, I was at a stage of my journey where I was like, this just isn't right. This isn't right. I can't work with other people anymore. Like, what am I going to do? So before I said yes to going away and turning up on Hazel's doorstep, I said about my medicine journey and, what are you guys doing? And because they were, living in another country where the laws were more relaxed around plant medicine, and they said that they were beginning. I think you were in a sister group working with Bufo, but we were starting to work with a different medicine that was native, like I said, and um, they were popping up out the ground and they were singing to Hazel, going, "Come work with us, come work with us," and I was like, I've got the same message back in England, and so I was, picking them up out of the grass, and I was working them with on my own, which is absolutely crazy. But I was so desperate because I was so mentally ill at the time, like unhealthy, extremely, despite years of therapy. I was like, this just isn't working. That I sat in my room in one of the most dense cities in the entire world, London, and I paid for it. I paid for it. I really did. It was not a good idea. And so I made loads of mistakes, especially when I met Hazel as well. I made amazing mistakes. So because I made those mistakes, I learned from them, and I'm able to help people overcome pretty much anything that can go wrong. Pretty much.
In a medicine journey.
Yeah, yeah, in a medicine journey. Anything, absolutely anything. I took care of it. I knew what to do.
Because through it, we have learned how to read energies.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Together.
Yeah. So I just wanted to finish when I met Hazel, the medicine journey completely evolved for me, completely on a whole new level, because working with a woman, just us two, was so profoundly different than working in a group of strangers. There was no egos to deal with. There was just our own egos to deal with, which was enough, instead of having to deal with all the other stuff. And we were really brave and courageous, and we made tons of mistakes. We also made loads of good choices and decisions. And every good choice we made was based on love, and every bad choice we made was based on fear. And that's how we learned. But we had so much belief and devotion and courage to each other as friends
Mm-hmm.
that we managed to make it through. And we embodied, it was like a university. We started our first year in December
Mm.
2020, and we're just finishing our fourth year, going into our fifth year. So we finished our year of mastery. So we've done 3 years, and then we did our masters. It's like our
Yeah,
our,
yeah,
our university.
yeah.
And we're now being asked in our fifth year to come out and bring our gifts out into life in service, because we told our joint purpose is to bring back the heart of humanity for humanity. It's our
Mm.
purpose to deliver the gift of divine union
Yeah, and to help the
back to
stages.
humanity.
Yeah, yeah, and to help this phase of development of evolutionary consciousness, to
Yeah,
help humans evolve in their consciousness. And why are we different? It's because we're doing it together. We've done it together, and we're continuing to do it together. And there's something else available when you do it together, and it's really strong
yeah,
to do this together, to go through the portals together, to do the healing, the cleaning, the cleansing, the opening, the celebrations together, all of it. And being side by side, not entangled, healing codependency through cracking all of those illusions open by being together. And this is part of the journey, and this is also what is in the oracle. This is this evolutionary journey in the oracle, in the soul prophecy oracle, because it's your prophecy as well. It's your prophecy to be free. It's your prophecy to live the embodiment of your soul, to live your magnificence. It's your prophecy to have all of these downloads that are in here. It's your prophecy to know this, to live it and embody it, and to live love. And regarding the medicine journeys, there also comes a point, like I've got these different sections in the oracle, where you pop out of it. You pop out the other side. And there comes a time, like for me, was really like, this is the end of that phase of my life, and I don't do that anymore, and I don't sit in ceremonies anymore, and I don't need to do that, because you come out the other side having received the healing of the medicine journeys, integrating them and embodying that change. And that's another thing, that why I've done this oracle deck, is to help the evolution, because there's so many phases where I notice where people get stuck. You get stuck in I don't know, any I don't want to put any particular names on things, but any trainings or workshops or methods that you've discovered along the way.
methods. Yeah,
And plant medicine journey is also, in a way, can be a method. And so there comes a point where you don't need that anymore, and you become the method.
medicine.
You become the medicine.
Yeah,
And this is what the ancients said. And what has been astounding is learning directly from spirit every step of the way, and pioneering this path, because nobody else could show me the way, nobody else could show you the way, and nobody could show us this joint way.
yeah. Not for lack of trying either.
Yeah,
We both, before we met each other, I tried asking everyone, what do I do? How do I get this? And everybody just wanted to take my money
yeah,
and kind of postpone my suffering, just because nobody had the answers really. They don't. They just have partial answers that can only get you so far.
yeah,
But working together for me was a complete paradigm shift. It's really like any medicine journey you've ever been on, if you've had the pleasure of doing that. It's a complete paradigm shift from that. Because I had quite a few medicine journeys before I started my work with Hazel. I thought I knew, like a lot of people who start a journey, I know it all. I know plenty. And it was just such a humbling and a complete paradigm shift of truly knowing what love is. And you slowly climb up past your ego into this soul level where you don't need to tell anyone or ask anyone the answers anymore, because your soul starts leading. And you live a life that is, we're told, is fantasy, but fantasy is the real truth.
The magical stories are the reality.
Yeah.
And this is also what the Oracle has shown me and shown us. And that's why it's been such a powerful, revolutionary journey, because there's things that I have not been able to give words to. It's too strong. And so they've had to come through in the pictures. And so this is what I really need your support now. And we really need your support to get in on the Kickstarter, and please make this happen. This is not a product. This is a masterpiece.
It's a gift.
And it's a gift. It's my gift to humanity. And I've sacrificed so much that I'm now calling upon your support to get the funding together to make this happen. Yeah. So we'll leave the link below. Get in. You can also check out the information at thesovereignjourney.com/soul prophecy oracle. Read more about me, the story, us, our journey. And, this is also, this is a journey into your own sovereignty. This is a journey beyond who you are today. This is a journey that goes beyond the plateaus, beyond the methods, beyond all of that, and starts answering that soul call. When are you ready to live, love?
Yeah. And if it wasn't obvious, because we didn't explain this, but it's called the Soul Prophecy Oracle because it prophesizes your own soul prophecy. It prophesizes and oracles your own soul journey, your own soul path. It helps guide you multidimensionally on your own soul path to meet your own twin flame. It's absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And we're going to be discussing it because when people get it in their hands, like we said, the journey isn't easy. We embodied the card before it was finished. And so people will be trying to embody the card while holding it in their hands. And so people may come across difficulties, and we're going to be here to help people through the journey. So with that in mind, this is the beginning of Prophecy Walkers.
Yeah.
And we will be walking people through the prophecy of the new soul prophecy of humankind.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're called to do. That was our journey. That's what's happened through our healing process. Your greatest wounds are what you can offer as greatest service to humanity.
Your greatest wound is your greatest gift.
Yeah. And it's our time now to come out of the dark and share these true gifts of healing to help you. Yeah. And it's a pleasure.
True gifts of love.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, we'll call it here.
Yeah. Check out the links below. Join in. Thanks for your support. So much love.